Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here, and welcome to Reefgrrl Live. I am so happy you could make it. The whole idea here is to have some fun, chat, get some questions answered, maybe show off what you're doing, and get to know each other a little bit better. So sit back, relax, grab a drink. The stream is about to begin. Hello, good evening, great Saturday night. I see we have a whole bunch of people in here already, chatting away. That's awesome. So how's everybody doing tonight? Let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Calypso's Reefs was first. Hey, Hector, that's awesome. Hector, did you see my message in one of your videos that it's your iCloud account I haven't been able to reach with the email? It keeps bouncing, saying it's full. So if you have, I don't know, a Gmail or some other address that you could give me, then that'd be great. Just send me a quick email. Kimber Reefs, nice to see you, Kim. And Yavi Gwaltney wanted to be first, but didn't quite make it. Benny Fernandez, hey, Benny. Yeah, lots of early birds. Insane Reefer. Joe Rieser, here to watch. Good, that's great. Maybe after a while you'll feel like joining in. That'd be cool. Broke Reefman 45, hello. Oh, there's me, my comment. WVU Reefer, how are you doing? Nice to see you. You're early tonight. I've seen you other nights and a little bit later on in the stream. And I've always felt bad because I just couldn't interrupt someone to say hi. But anyway, hi. Who else is here? The Salty Reef. Hey, the Salty Reef. T40. Nice to see you, T40. Chi-Town Reefer. Jay Engel. Hi, guys. GTA 5 Vids. Hey, how are you? Chad Kurtz. DC Reefer. Wow, DC Reefer. You really should come in and tell us what you're doing, even if it's only for 5 minutes. It would be awesome. I can send you the link. It's easy. No account, no password. No app to download. You just click and you're in. So let me know if you want that link. I'm going to just put up my email address. There we go. I'm going to leave that running across the bottom. So anyone who would like to come in and chat, show people what you have, or even ask a question, there it is. Send me an email and I will send you the link. Who else have we got here? Nat King Reef. Hey, Nat King Reef. Glad you could make it. Jay Carey. Hey, Jay Carey. I think that's everybody so far. We have 21 people watching. That's pretty cool. Before the stream started, actually, when I set it up and scheduled it, I sent out over 20 invitations to past guests. So if you've been a past guest and you didn't get an email, please let me know, and I'll be sure to send you out the link. And if you want to come back in, then that would be great if you could do that. So I saw some people up commenting here in the chat earlier. Benny Fernandez got his water tested yesterday and it's all great. Oh, that's good. What a good feeling that is, because it means you're doing something right on an ongoing basis. So that's awesome. And he's got here, I'll show you his parameters. ALK. Nitrate 10, calcium 445, phosphate 0.18, magnesium 1500. That looks pretty good. I can't remember what you have in your tank, Benny. I know you were on here. I think it was the really beautiful tank with the central rock pillar, if I remember right. I can't always remember these things. I watch so many videos and follow so many people. Hey, Eddie. Eddie Brown is here. Tony Close is here. I've got the email address streaming across the bottom of the screen there. If anybody wants to come into the studio, I can kind of tell you the sort of things that I've been up to lately. And, where things are at with my tank and what's going on. I did put a video out about Aquachar. That was yesterday. And the tank is looking, oh my God, I don't even want to say it out loud. The tank is looking good these days. And I just keep waiting for something to happen because this has been down this road before. I am setting up another tank at my daughter's place because we're going to be moving. I want that tank to be cycled and reasonably mature, so I have a place to move my corals while I take apart the fish room and turn it back into a bedroom so we can sell the house. That is major, like major for us. So yeah, that's kind of occupying a lot of my time. And we put on a canister filter, an old Philstar that we had. I don't know how old it is. I think we got it with another tank that we bought, another setup years ago when we had fresh water. And it turns out that it leaks. So I have the tank set up. It's got salt water. It has a 500-watt titanium Finex heater in it that is controlled by a Pony Eye heater controller, and the temperature is monitored with the American Pinpoint temperature monitor. It's just a probe, and it says what the temperature is, and a couple of power heads, and that's about it. And I had been hoping to start the cycle by putting stuff in the filter, and of course it leaks. So now tomorrow morning I have to run to Big Al's and get a new filter. So tomorrow afternoon we can get this thing going. So that's kind of the bit of runaround I've been doing over the last week or so. Oh, here's T40 has a question. How many inches do the light have to be off your Chaeto? Mine is about, I want to say 8 or 9 inches above. I use a par 30 bulb that I got on Amazon or eBay. I don't remember which. It's just in a simple socket fixture that's adjustable. Doesn't have a shade on it. It's just the bulb screwed into the fixture. And it grows my Chaeto like nuts. So if anybody else has any comments about that and you just want to leave it in the chat, that'd be great. Benny Fernandez says his is pretty close. Oh, DC says no updates right now. Moving from an apartment to the house, but some things planned, just waiting on the right time. Yeah, I know the feeling. You don't want to give too much away until you actually have something to say. It's pretty hard sometimes not to talk about plans when they're pretty exciting, and you just don't want to jump the gun. I totally get that. Okay. Oh, Aquachar. Someone sent us your video. Thank you for the review. Oh, you're welcome. And I've been monitoring my pH since I did that video. It has maintained the same cycle of being above 8 for 24 hours a day and reaching 8.24, 23, 24, 25 in the late afternoon. And around midnight, it's usually 8.08 or 09. So it's holding on. And I'll be interested to see how long it stays at those levels. And I'm thinking if it starts to trend downwards on a 24-hour basis, that'll be the time to swap some out for some fresh. So we'll see. It's probably going to need a 6-month follow-up just to see what happens down the road, see how long or how, I guess, how consistent it is over time. So yeah. What else? Yep. Benny says his light is pretty close and it grew the Chaeto fast and he had to trim it down. Yeah, that happens. Oh, Tony Close has a question about my Goniopora. Seeing the video, tank looks great. Can you tell me what you feed the Goniopora? I feed Reef 2 times a week, Wednesdays and Sundays. I do it during the normal feeding when the return pump is off and I'm feeding the fish. I prepare the Reef mixture. You put some in tank water and let it sit for a few minutes. And then I had been just throwing it in and letting it circulate with power heads. But what I've started doing is getting my long pipette and actually targeting all of the various corals that I know have feeders or are able to take it up in tentacles. And I kind of sprayed in a cloud across the Acropora, but the Goniopora, I try to take a whole pipette and just sort of puff it all around them in the water. And that's with all of the flow off. I can't remember, did I say I shut off all of my circulating pumps inside the tank, all the power heads, and the water's still because the return pump is off. So I shut those other pumps off and I leave it like that for maybe 5 minutes until I'm completely out of the 30 milliliters of tank water mixed with Reef. Takes about 5 minutes to distribute it. I wait a couple more minutes. Then I turn the interior flow back on. And then a few minutes later, I turn the return pump back on. So I don't know if it sounds complicated, but yeah, Reef, twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays with the regular fish feeding. And they're doing, the Goniopora are doing extremely well. And I have to try and get some footage because I have actually seen Goniopora tentacles stinging the neighboring Cyphastria, chalices, things like that. So they are aggressive. I never thought they were, but they definitely are. It's pretty interesting. What other questions we got? What light are you using? T, is that for me? Or are you asking Benny? I think you're asking Benny. Oh, and he's answering you. Okay. If I pay attention, maybe I would know that. Kimber wants to know, Kimber Reef, when will you start moving the tank over? She had an awful experience a couple of years ago. Yeah. I want to wait as long as I can. I don't know when that's going to be. My original intent was to have the sort of holding tank running for almost a year before I had to move anything into it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that time-wise. I might be lucky to have a month. So that's why I need to get this cycle going. I'm moving the rock work with everything on it, all the fish. I will be putting sand in that tank. Right now it just has water, and I'm hoping to pick up a Deltec hang-on back skimmer used, but the guy has to send me some pictures. I don't know how old it is. I want to take a good look at it before I pay a couple $100 for a used skimmer. And I don't honestly know when it's going to happen, because what's going to happen is my reefer will be taken down. The stuff will be put in the holding tank, and I will be ordering a new tank. So the stuff could be in the holding tank for an extended period, and I'm very concerned about what I might lose during that process. So, it's a crapshoot. Awoken. Hey, Awoken, you're here. American Reefing. Nice to see you. Hey, Skookum Chuck Reefer. Wow, we got lots of people here. Benny's asking Kim how the new tank is. T40's waiting for a new light. Hey, Marcus's Reef. Saturday night, and we're all in here wanting to chat about our reef tanks. Nice to be able to do that. Oh, sure, Awoken. That would be awesome. If you want to come in the studio, I'd love to see that. Let me send you the link. I think I did, actually. If you check your email, I believe I included you in the list of people I sent an invitation to earlier tonight. Would have been around maybe just around 6:30 or so. And I sent it from my reefgrrl@gmail address. But let me know if you need the link, and I will send it again separately. Oh, and Kim is asking which tank Benny's talking about. Yes, Kim, you've had a lot of sort of changes with your tanks. And it always amazes me how beautiful and clean they look. Anyone using Miracle Mud anymore? DC said when he used it, his microfauna went crazy, and he's getting it again for his new setup. Yeah, I'm using Miracle Mud, and I have a tray that needs to be replaced. I replace it 3 pounds at a time. And when I do replace it, I always notice extra polyp extension when the new stuff goes in. So it's probably overdue, to tell you the truth, for replacement. So I'll have to do that in the next little while. Oh, Skookumchuck likes my green screen. Pretty cool, eh? There's the fish room. There's, oh, see, and I do this all the time. There is Amathia's garden on this side and Mollywood. I can't even point in the right direction. Mollywood on the left side and Amathia's garden on the right side. Awoken says he uses it, Miracle Mud. Yavi Gwaltney is planning 150 or 180 for Christmas. When would you start curing your rock? Well, I've been listening to Fish of Hex lately talk about curing rock, and he's made me think that for my new tank, I'm going to start curing rock the minute we're in a new house and I have space to put Rubbermaid totes or Brute trash cans or some sort of reef-safe plastic containers in the garage, and I'm going to put all of my rock in there and start cooking it. And then when the tank is in the house and ready to go, I'll put the rock in and the water and get going. I have never done that. I have always started tanks with brand new rock. I've never even had live rock per se. I've always used dead rock, and I have cured it in the tank as part of the process of, first of all, the cycle, and then just all of the stages that you go through. I've been fairly successful with it. I've never had any of what I think would be problems. It's just quite natural for stuff to happen. And it's always worked. But next time, I'm going to do it differently and see what happens. It could be a big mistake. You know, when you start doing something outside your normal range of what you're used to doing, it's a lot easier to make a mistake because there are things that happen that are different than what you're used to. So I guess we'll find out. So yeah, if you're going to aim for Christmas, you know, if I'm thinking about the fall, as soon as I'm in a different house in May or June, I will be starting to cure the rock. And I'm assuming it'll take a couple of months to get a tank built because it'll have to be custom. So yeah, give it a few months anyway. Keep the light off, keep a heater in there, and power heads moving it. Keep a lid on so that you reduce evaporation. You can kind of maintain salinity, but salinity is not critical as long as it's in a range that's reasonable, you know, 1024 to 1028. And I would start as soon as you have the facilities and the ability to do it. That would be me in your situation for sure. Kevin Stiles. Hey, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. He's from the UK. Have I had marine velvet or ick in my tanks? I'm assuming you mean me, or if you just mean in general, I'm sure the chat can answer as well. I have never, to my knowledge, had marine velvet. I may have had one fish with it, a hawkfish, in my 29-gallon cube, but I am not 100% sure because that was years ago. I didn't know what I was doing. He was about a year old when he looked silvery all over, like he had mildew on him. And I had not added any new fish. I had not done anything that I knew of that would cause him to get sick, but he passed away. And all of my other fish were fine. As far as ick goes, I have dealt with ick in a 20-gallon nano, and I believe it came in on snails because I had 3 nano fish, a green clown goby, a yellow clown goby, and a Pacific basslet. And when I left to go away on a long weekend to a cottage, the house sitter looked after everything. The week before, a couple days before, I got some snails. And when I came back from that 5-day weekend, I started to see spots on my fish. And I had had those fish for about 6 months before this happened. So I'm convinced it came in on the snails and I could do nothing. I tried some of the standard ick treatments, but they really, really got very sick very fast. So I went without any fish in that tank for several months. And then I got some mollies because I thought I am not going to buy, $100 worth of fish only to find out there's still ick in there. And so I had mollies in that tank. And the current residents of Mollywood are descendants of those mollies. So yes. Did you have a question about that? Because there's lots of people here who might be able to help you with it. Sherry Sanchez, highly recommend curing the rock before tank setup. We were able to move all our stuff within 2 days with the pre-cycled rock that was cured for 7 months while we rebuilt. That sounds like really good advice, and it sounds like that's something that might work for me because I will have the space while I'm waiting for the tank to be available. And Broke Reef Man had ick in his 180, killed 2 fish before getting under control. So you guys can maybe chat about that. Oh, Ed Kevin's just beat Marine Velvet. Wow. Kevin, did you have to take your fish out to do that, to quarantine, or how did you manage that? Sukumchuk Reefer says kiddie pool. Yeah, to cure rock. It'd be cool if you could get a way to cover it and you had the space for that. And we have Awoken. There he is. Hey, Awoken. How are you?
Good. How's everything going?
Good. Staying busy. Yes, you've got that aquascape with the cool pillars, don't you?
Yeah. I'm in the middle of redoing it. Let me see here. You see this arch here, the Caribsea arch?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take those out. I don't like them.
I will say the Caribs.
I like them.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
I like them when I got them and they were cool when they first came out, but I don't think it really. So I'm just gonna ditch them.
Right. What I'm finding in Mollywood is I love the look of that rock, and I've had that tank up for over a year, and I still do not have anything encrusting on that rock, except for now, recently, some clove polyps. Zoanthids do not seem to want to go off of their plugs onto that rock. I don't know why. Oh, hey, Zarin Murdell. Nice to see you. Hey, Click Clacks. Thanks for coming by, guys. So those look like relatively small arches, Awoken. Are they the nano size?
No, they're pretty big. They're not the biggest ones. They're like, I guess, the middle ones.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, right, because you've got a big tank.
But I already took one out. I had 3 of them in there. I have one of like the round rocks with a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get rid of them all.
And are you going to build something else to go in place of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do like more pedestals like this, but just like a smaller version that'll fit in there.
Right.
And I'll do like multi-tiered, and then put like probably Zoas on it or something. I'm also trying to decide what to do with this shelf. The middle one in the back is like a blue stag.
I think you're frozen right now. Oh, there we go. Now you're moving again.
I don't know if I'm breaking up.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's a blue stag. Well, here's something. Kevin Stiles, who had the Marine Velvet, said
I think
copper.
Something purple would just be better. I don't know. Garfonzo.
Right, right. Oh, so you're looking to change up the color.
Yeah. Does anyone have any purple branching rec?
Oh, we lost him. So Kevin used copper, garlic in the food, and freshwater dips. Yep, that sounds like it would be effective. And hey, Monica, PR Fish Girl, nice to see you. Oh, there we go. Wilkins back. Now that is nice. That's Space Invader colors on what? A Favia?
Yeah, that's a Fabia. I think it's called a paintball Fabia.
Nice. And how big would that be? Like the size of a softball, do you think?
Probably a little small, probably like a baseball.
Right. That color is unbelievable. Oh, we have a question from Zarin Murdell. My marine is 4 months old. I have 4 fish in the tank. Can I replace my rock? Should be no problem. I think if you only have fish, as long as you can put rock in that's cycled, like, I mean, if you take all of your rock out and you don't leave anything in there, you won't have anything available to process waste in terms of bacteria. I don't know. Do you have a sump? How many gallons is this? Sort of maybe a little more detail about what your setup is like. That might help. And GTA 5 Viz was wondering what kind of gobies or blennies are good for a 14-gallon tank. Eventually plan to get a 75 or a 90 in 6 months to a year. So now's your chance, everybody. Talk about your favorite gobies and blennies. There are a couple of really small ones. There's Rainford gobies and Hector's gobies. I've had those in the past. They're really nice little fish, but they seem to be a little bit delicate. I think the longest I had those was maybe a year, and they just seem to constantly be hiding. There's all kinds of nanofish. It depends, I guess, if you want them to have a job. If you want a fish to turn over your sand bed and keep things clean, there are gobies that'll do that. If you want fish that will maybe pair up with a pistol shrimp, there's different kind of gobies that'll do that. Blennies are hilarious fish to have in the tank because any blenny I've ever seen, they have personalities. So you can get a lawnmower blenny to look after algae, or a Midas blenny just to swim around and be fun, or I don't know. I guess blennies are another fish that you can get to do a job. So hey, chat, what do you think? Broke Reef Man says, looks good, Awoken. Kimber Reef says, tail spot blenny. I agree. I had one, and it's the most gorgeous blue color. PR Fish Girl says, starry blennies are awesome. Sherry Sanchez, diamond goby for sand turnover. And GTA 5 Vid said he had gobies 10 years ago when he had salt water. So I'm assuming you're setting up salt water again, getting back into it with a 14-gallon. Nice. So Awoken on the right, that's another Favia we see here.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, that one there.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Hey, Kimber Reefs, I got your email, and I'm sure everybody would love to hear about moving your tanks, because it's something that at some point or another, a lot of us have to face. So I will send you an invitation, and we can maybe talk about that a little bit. God, Awoken, the colors are just crazy in your tank. Okay, Kim, I've sent you the link. And that's a hammer coral, is it, Awoken? And then on the right, is that a plate coral? Yeah, I feel like your internet is maybe lagging. I feel like your internet is maybe lagging quite a lot. Two yellowhead gobies. Sorry?
Yeah, let me try something. I'll be right back.
Okay. Kevin says he's got 2 yellowhead gobies, and I'm assuming you mean they have to be fed 2 or 3 times a day. Great fish. Yeah, the yellowhead sleeper gobies are really cool fish. And especially if you get a pair like that, they're buddies. They hang out together. Marcus has a tail spot blenny that's a worker, always picking at the rock looking for algae. Yep. Yavi Gwaltney loves his lawnmower blenny at work, but he went bare bottom. Oh, I see. You have a tank at work and at home, and doesn't think they'll be happy with that. I guess it depends how much algae you have on rocks and elsewhere like that. Yeah, GTA 5 vids, 2-month-old tank that's stable, looking for tail spot at the LFS. Want to get a cleaner ship as well, but 5 local stores never have them. They sell really quick. GTA 5 vids. Are you in the Toronto area, the GTA area? Because if you are, I don't know if you've run across Carl Hayden before. I'm going to put him up on the screen here. That is my fish guy, and that is from whom I buy all of my quarantine fish. Let me just put that up here. And he's got a business called Carl's Aquariums, and you can find him on Facebook. Every Tuesday, he publishes a list of all the fish that are available from his wholesaler and the pricing. And the prices are quarantine prices, where he will keep them for up to 4 weeks. He quarantines for 3 weeks. You have a week to pick the fish up. And honestly, I won't buy fish from anybody else anymore, because I've had so many good experiences dealing with him that, yeah, it's well worth it. So if you're in the GTA area and you want to look into that, it might be something useful for you. Okay, Awoken, you're back.
Yeah, but I think I'm still laggy. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if my internet's going to be able to handle this.
It's not as bad as it was before.
All right, maybe what I did worked then.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you have a source of fish for that'll quarantine for you. That's really awesome.
Yeah. Yep. And that's his business. That's what he does. And he says copper, but I know that he does from time to time use, well, at least when I was the last time I got fish from him, he was using chloroquine phosphate. And his basement is unbelievable. He's got tanks for miles. It's just amazing what he does, but always been a good experience. Hey, Mo's Nano Reef. Okay, he's in the PS4 GRA area. I don't know what that means. Braveheart Reefers here. Hey, how's it going? Okay, we've got Kimber in the waiting room. And, oh, that's a nice hammer. Is that what that is, Awoken?
Yeah,
Wow.
gold hammer.
And you know, the quality of the video right now is much better than it was before. So whatever you did really helped.
Good.
Yeah.
'Cause it was getting annoying.
So if you want to keep touring us around your reef, I'll bring Kimber up. Kimber Reefs, Kim, and she can talk about moving tanks.
Okay. I'll probably feed the fish at some point.
Okay. Hey, Kim.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you
How are
hear
you?
me?
Yes, we can. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So I think everybody's probably expecting me to do a troll question. I don't know whether, Kim, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. If you were here when we get new people in, we always ask a troll question.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I got to get my glasses. I got these ones. They're really good. Okay. So let me see. Okay. Here we go. All right. I'm the troll. I'm guarding the bridge. You got to answer the question. Meant to be an icebreaker. It's not hard or anything. Okay. So if you think of the most frustrating reefing experience you've ever had, what did you learn from that?
uh, the most frustrating was really this last move that I made 2 years ago, and it still frustrates me to this day, actually.
Oh boy.
So I had emailed you and I'll sort of repeat that again, but I have done 2 moves, 2 tanks, 2 moves, and the first one went really, really well. No losses, no nothing. It totally could not have gone any better. And then the second move we did about 2 years ago, and it was a farther move. So we moved about 45 minutes away, and I lost probably a third of all of my corals.
Oh no.
And I lost anything SPS, completely dead, within the first 12 hours. And I
Wow.
lost this Duncan. You can see there's a couple of dead heads over here. It was over 30 heads that dropped down to 20. My hammer, which is in 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, that was a 15 head, and it dropped down to 6.
Oh my gosh.
So my little frags are doing a lot better, but seeing them in pieces is a
Yeah.
constant reminder of that move.
And you know how long it takes to get to that point, especially with hammers, because they're slow growers.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I think the single thing that I could have done would have been extremely difficult to do. And that was to keep the temperature up.
Oh,
By the
right.
time I got everything back into the tank, the temperature had dropped to about 65, 64.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I said, it was a 45-minute move. I had everything in about 6 different 5-gallon buckets. So, a solution would have been to put heaters in all of those buckets, but I don't think that would have been a feasible solution to have that many heaters in my car in buckets of water.
Yeah. How do you plug them in? I mean, you could do what I did, which is use hand warmers, except tape them to the lids of the bucket or to the side of the bucket so that they're not, touching the water and just heating the air inside the bucket. I mean, I would use them again. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be so dumb as to use 10 of them in a small box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to do. You try to think of everything, and then the thing that happens is just something you never even thought would be a problem.
Right.
I remember we were having a lot of power outages around here. I actually went to the dollar store and I bought one of those camping blankets that you can get that are insulated. They have like a foil or one side is silver. I don't know. And I
Right.
now have that in case the power goes off for an extended period of time and I'm unable to supply heat. Then I will wrap that over and around the tank to retain whatever heat is available to try and keep it as long as possible.
Yeah, we have a lot of power outages here where we live now, but we have a whole house generator. So luckily,
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about my tanks in a power outage anymore.
Oh, I'm going to have to pick your brain about that because that's what we're planning for the next house. And we're planning on getting one if we can afford it, depending on how ridiculous the price is. The upgrade is for it to automatically turn on as soon as it senses the power's off and automatically turn off when the power comes back on.
That's what
And
ours does.
yep. Okay, then I'm going to remember that. I'll pick your brain later down the road when it actually gets closer. I've never met
Well,
anybody who has one.
it was installed by the previous owners, but I know I have all of the paperwork and the pricing and the brand, and
Wow. Okay.
so I can share that with you,
Oh, that would be awesome.
or even anyone else who might be interested.
Yeah. Yes, because there's nothing that instills panic in us more than a power outage.
Yeah.
And it takes a few experiences like that to teach you what you need to have on hand when that happens. But during a move, like, wow, oh, your plate coral is looking great.
Yeah, these guys are really happy.
Nice.
Finally, everything started to be pretty happy and growing,
Yep.
but it took a while to get back to that place.
So anybody who hasn't run across Kimber Reefs, check it out. There's all kinds of cool stuff on her channel. She's got a bunch of different tanks. And I've always enjoyed your videos, Kim. I think I've told you that. I think I've been subbed to you for probably since the Barbie doll days.
Oh, goodness.
When you were doing those, look at my hair. When you were doing those videos with the dolls, I was intrigued. I looked at it and I went, like, this is weird, but weirdly enjoyable.
Yeah. I have some internet friends that keep asking me to get them out again, so.
Yep. Hey, Meldium, nice to see you here. Wow, glad you could come out. And AL is here. That's good. And we have Monica, PR Fish Girl, in the waiting room. So Kim, the moves with the problem that you had with the heat. I'll just bring Monica in and we can listen if you have any more to talk about with that. Hey, Monica.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? We're just talking to Kim about moving her tanks, a 45-minute move and the cost in coral. I'm going to put her up full screen. But Kim, what you still have looks so healthy. And you had mentioned the Duncan, you lost a lot of the heads. And I know a little while ago you were having trouble with it. Do you feel like it's recovering or how's it going?
For a while it was, and now these two heads back here are not doing so good. But I did some testing earlier in the week, and my mag was down to 1100.
Oh, okay.
So I started dosing that up. I tested it today, and it was still 1160.
Right.
So I'm trying to get it up, but not too fast.
Right. And your test kit's not expired or anything?
Nope, brand new.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened to me. So that's the first thing I look at when I get a reading I'm not sure about. Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes it takes time. You're better to go slow, but my Duncan will always tell me if there's a problem.
Yeah. And as you can see, the clownfish really love the Duncan. So, you know, sometimes I wonder if they just beat it up a little bit too much.
You know, I guess they could be trying to clean off an area to lay eggs. And maybe that's what's irritating those back heads because they're kind of hidden away a little bit.
Yeah.
So your YouTube channel, Kim, is Kimber Reefs, all one word?
I think it's two.
Is it
Two
two?
words.
Okay, Kimber Reefs. So anybody who's interested, go over and check it out. There is lots of great content there. And Kim, you took a bit of a break from YouTube for a while, and I see that you're back with a video of your leak testing, that little tank that you have there. Is that the one that has the plants in it?
Yes, that's my new freshwater planted with a betta.
Right. Have you come up with a name for him yet?
I think I'm gonna go with wonton. That's what my
Nice.
husband started calling him, so I think that's gonna stick.
Yeah. Have you come across Deb Tim, a Canadian girl, at all on YouTube? She had a whole rack of bettas. Check her out if you get a chance. She's got cichlids and all kinds of really, really nice tanks and nice fish. And she puts out 5-minute videos a couple times a week, and they're always really a pleasure to watch.
I will definitely check her out.
Hey, Chimp the Reefer, Anna Maria Dunn, nice to see you both. We have 41 people watching right now. That's awesome. Oh, and the blue mushrooms. I love those things.
They're taking over. The lights are starting to dim down, so they're not as full as they could be. But I think the biggest ones are about 4 inches across when they're real happy.
Yeah. My 29-gallon cube, I had a whole stack of those things, and they would drip off the edge of an overhang and fall down onto the rocks below. And pretty soon they were everywhere. And then I can't remember what I did. I changed something in the tank, and they just all gradually just started to shrink up and disappear. So I had a cycle where I had 2 of them and eventually had about 30 of them. And then eventually I had none. It was very strange. I never quite figured it out. Meldium says it's his zoanthids, his zoas, that let him know if something is wrong. Yep, I've heard that too. I've heard people say that. Love the plate corals. Absolutely love them.
Oh, I've got some little red mushrooms on this side.
Yeah. My red mushrooms are developing white dots in, like, radiating out from the center. And I don't know, I don't think they're sick or anything. I'm just wondering if something in the light is making them respond that way. It's really cool. Benny Fernandez says his zoas and his euphilia tell him there's a problem. I guess we all have that bellwether coral that makes us notice that something's going on. So how long ago was your last move, Kim? I can't remember if you said. Was it 6 months ago?
Just about 2 years ago.
Oh boy, that's a long time.
2 years in April. I got up and somebody stole my seat.
I have one of those. I have a couple of those.
How's Toasty doing these days, Kim?
He's doing good. You know, surprisingly, he responds to treatment really well.
Good.
For those who don't know, Toasty is diagnosed with kidney disease just around Thanksgiving.
Aw.
So I take him to the vet 2 times a week for fluids, every 2 weeks for acupuncture, and he's on a special diet.
Very nice.
He's looking really good. Because he's a fairly young cat, isn't he?
He's about, and he's got his little water fountain set up with his bed. He's living the good life over here. Yeah, he's about 7 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, get down, Bubba. Come on. I know what happened.
Oh, Monica's got her cats invading again. My husband could put the gate across the stairs upstairs so that my big cat couldn't come down and terrorize the basement.
Oh.
Calypso says he has one just like that. Like what, Hector? One just like that. Oh, mushroom. Maybe that's what I was talking about, the mushroom getting the white dots on it. It's the strangest thing. They're just like little white lines of polka dots radiating from the mouth outwards. They're not real close together, but you can definitely see there's like almost a star pattern. It's really interesting. Anna Maria Dunn, any luck with gorgonias? Kim, you've got really nice gorgonias in here. And you always have. That was one of the things I loved about the 25 Lagoon that you had. Is that what that was?
I've switched my tanks a couple of times. Right now we're looking at the Lagoon 25.
Oh, okay.
This is a Grub's Gorgonian in here, and actually this had transplanted itself on this rock. So this literally started from a single polyp. I think I've had it here now for about probably 3 years of growth on this rock.
Oh, wow.
But the 20-gallon is where a majority of the Gorgonians are now.
Right.
And I think I've got 4 different types in there. They're a very easy coral for me.
Yep.
Are they filter feeder?
Yes.
Okay.
Small particle, yeah.
And is this one photosynthetic as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, some types are non-photosynthetic. I think they're the ones that have the stiffer branches and the white polyps. I've had a few of those, and I've kept them for a fairly long time, but eventually they just sort of wither away, gradually diminish and disappear.
Yeah, I had a blueberry gorgonian for a while. That died in the move too.
Oh, geez. Oh, Awoken's back. Let me just bring Awoken in. There we go. Hey, Awoken. Glad you could come back. Monica's got lights on behind her. Monica.
Yeah, we have the HXOs on.
Nice.
Too bad I don't have an orange filter.
Benny is asking, for anybody who's had a Lagoon 25, when you first bought it, he's asking what comes with it. Yeah, Benny, it is an all-in-one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I have the 40. So I guess, like, to me, it depends when you got it. Apparently, at one time, Innovative Marine included the filter socks, and then they switched to the media baskets, and now they're back to the socks again. So I don't know. It depends.
And now they have the Pro version, which comes with a different pump. And I think it comes with a screen top, which mine did not come with a screen top. I had to make mine.
Yeah, mine came with a screen top, my 40.
I had their 30. It didn't come with any of that.
Was that part of the series, the SR 30, 60, 80, Monica?
No, it was actually one of their very first all-in-one tags out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I think Awoken's feeding his fish over down the lower left corner there. Looks like it. There's that Reefgrrl angel. Wow.
The Reefgrrl has become so spoiled. It will only eat one type of food, and I have to feed it to it like Target feed it.
Talk about spoiled.
So, Awoken, I often read about preparations, like food preparations for angelfish, and I assume it includes things like sponges and whatever. But I've never been able to actually find any commercially available, quote unquote, angelfish preparations. And I have the pair of Genicanthus angels. I know they eat sponges. I see them when I have a rock in Mollywood that's getting overrun. I put it in the big tank and they just go crazy on it. But I would love to get them food that's actually made for them and mix it in with the rest. I've never seen it.
Do you know, are you familiar, or can you get the Ocean Nutrition frozen food? They make Formula 1 and Formula 2.
I've heard of it, and Ocean Nutrition frozen. I don't know if I've ever seen it, but mind you, I've never looked for it. So,
well, the thing is, I was never a big fan of that, but they make something called the Angel formula. They make Formula 1 and Formula 2. A lot of people have a lot of success with those.
Right.
So I tried the Angel formula one, and it's frozen, but you're not supposed to thaw it out. You're just supposed to throw the cube in the water.
Yeah.
And the trick about that is it has the consistency of a sponge, and that's, in my opinion, why the
Oh.
Reefgrrl loves it. The Reefgrrl will not eat any other food. When I first got the Reefgrrl, I used to have to feed it live mussels. Then I finally got it. It started eating pellets, started eating everything. Then once I started feeding the Angel formula, it will not eat anything else anymore.
Oh no. All right. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I would recommend that because, like I said, it has a consistency of sponge and it has sponge in it. Also, it's listed as one of the ingredients. And the other thing I like about it is you can use like Celcon, the liquid.
Yeah, I use it every time I
And-
mix the food. Yep.
I've never used
Okay, well,
Celcon.
that's I swear by Celcon.
Yep. Me too.
But the good thing about it is that those cubes, they soak it up really, really well because it's like a sponge,
Okay.
basically.
See, I bought some frozen stuff once called Reef formula, and I want to say it was maybe Hikari. I don't honestly remember. But it was cubes that you're supposed to just throw in and not thaw. But the problem was it would end up just going all to the overflow. So the fish weren't getting it.
Yep.
So I was thinking that maybe what I need is one of those Moe's Nano Reef cone feeder things, or some sort of a feeding ring where you can train the fish to go to that spot and it will stay retained in the ring to maintain the texture that it's supposed to have. But until you mentioned that, I didn't realize that was probably part of how that food is to be used, is because of the texture and the shape of it. That's why they would go after it.
Yeah, I wouldn't just throw it in because, like you said, it'll end up in the overflow. But yeah, that is the way you're supposed to use it. Just throw it in. But I just hold it with either. Well, I'm using like the feeder now, which is like a pouch,
Right.
which the Angel could eat. He could eat out of that if he wanted to. He just doesn't want to because he's stubborn. He's waiting. He's literally waiting for me. Like you can see him. He's just lurking. But either that or tweezers or something where you could hold it and then it will come and get it.
Right.
If you just throw it in, it's a gamble, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I mean, this is like 3-4 years ago. Of course, we're always learning, and that was the first time I had run across that. I bought it with the intention of thawing it with my rest of my food, thinking it was something that would be good for the coral as well because of the consistency of it. I didn't realize that you're not supposed to thaw it at all until I got it home and looked at it. And it just sat in my freezer. Maybe 3 cubes got used out of it. And finally, it was so freezer burned, I just threw it away. I'm sure it wasn't any good by then anyway. All right, but that's good to know.
Yeah, that's what I recommend.
I know a lot of people have a lot of success with the mastic with a lot of finicky eaters.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, mastic's really good too.
Remember those feeding rings? I did a video on a couple years ago on, it was by Easy Reefs. It was the same company, but it wasn't the mastic. It was the round rings that you put on this white.
Yeah.
Remember those things?
Mm-hmm.
And
We can't get those anymore.
Is that right? My snails were the ones that ate that, not my fish. And so I ended up
Did you have any
sending it all
tangs?
to Paige because her fish loved it, because I just didn't want to waste it. Sorry, Awoken?
I used to love that stuff, and I can't get it anymore in the U.S., which is a big bummer. But did you have any tangs when you tried to use it?
No, that right now I only have a Tomini tang, and that's before I got that fish. Hey, Tyler D, nice to see you.
So I ended up purchasing HPD food.
HPD?
HPD.
Yeah, American Reefing.
Yep. Carlos uses it. He swears by it. So
Yeah.
I figured I'd give it a shot and check it out.
And is it frozen or?
It's like you mix it. You could also add whatever food you want to it. You could put nori, aminos, whatever you want, you could mix into it. Then you freeze it, and then you cut certain pieces out, certain size, big, small, and you put it in like a pouch, kind of like for nori, and then they'll just pick at it all day.
Oh, nice.
So supposedly they love it. So I figured I'd give it a shot.
Yep. Cool. I was given some coral food at a coral show last fall, and it was in like a salt shaker, a metal salt shaker that had that spinning thing that goes around the top where you can uncover various sizes of holes. I had no idea what it was. It was half over the bag when I got it home. So I looked into it and found out what it was, and it's a coral, a powder coral food, which when you add tank water and let it sit, it turns into a gel, and then you can feed the gel. And I have to. I tried it once. I didn't like what it did to the water that I mixed it into, so I must not be using it right. But I'm wondering whether that's similar to what you're talking about, where there's a certain way to feed it, and I'm just not doing it right.
Did it have instructions? Like, did it tell you what you needed to do, or no, nothing?
Nope, it was just a food that they had, and I guess they put a bunch of samples together with no labels or no literature with it, and I just thought it's a good thing I knew who I got it from, because you know, who are you going to trust to just take some random stuff and throw it in your tank, right? Hey, Abe Rosencrantz. Nice to see you. Skookumchuck Reefer, it's a different link. Do you want me to send you the link? I can do that. If you send me an email, I can't remember. I must have your email because I know that I've sent this to you before. So let me just see if I can find it, and I'll send you the link. Kim, that tank looks really good. Just that view of it is really nice.
Yeah, I've got this set up in my office. So I've got my computer here, sitting in my chair. This is my view of my reef.
I can hardly wait till I have a room big enough to have a chair in it. Yeah, Skookumchuck, I think you're going to have to send me an email to reefgrrl@email.com, because I have a feeling you sent it to me under your name, and I can't remember your name. No, we've got all kinds of chat about mandarins and... Oh, Mo's Nanos Reef. Good. This is good to know. Feeders are ready and on the site. So, Mo, if I remember right, your site is 3dreefing.com. If you could confirm that, then I'll put it up on the screen here. Mo 3D prints diffusers for various lights. I think he started out with the AI Prime, also the Hydras, and various other types of LED lights, so that they kind of soften the light and take away from some of the intensity of it. And that's kind of where he started with the 3D printing, and he's been developing other things. And these feeders are very cool. What a great idea. So yeah, I'll let me see if he answers.
So what's the feeders?
Hey Mo, maybe if you get a minute, you could come in. I'll send you the link if you email me, and you can show us. Oh, there's Lynn Reef Nerd saying hello to Reefgrrl and PR Fish Girl.
Hey, Lynn.
I'm losing track of the chat. Sorry, guys. If anybody's asked a question and I've missed it, please feel free to pop it up there again. Oh, Abe, a film video I took with my phone. Hey, Abe, you know what the best way is that I found to share video? Set yourself up a YouTube channel, upload the video, and make it unlisted. Because then you can just send the link to the unlisted video to whoever you want, and they go to YouTube to view it. People can't find it in a search. The only way to look at it is if you actually have the link. And I've shared videos with people. Well, for example, when I need a house sitter to look after cats and stuff, I just make videos and throw them up on my channel and give her access to them. And it's way, way, way easier than writing out pages and pages and pages of instructions. So Abe, if that helps you, that might be a way to share a video. My email. Oh, let me put it up here for you. Anyone else who wants it? There we go. It's at the bottom, running along.
So the
Yeah.
tangs are doing pretty well in quarantine.
Yeah.
Yep. The hippo tanks look a lot better.
Oh, that's good.
I
Hey,
can tell you
Awoken.
Nazo's favorite food is,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
sorry, guy.
I'm listening.
Always bloodworms and red nori is the two favorite foods.
Red nori. Interesting.
Wow.
Bloodworms.
Hey,
Yeah,
Awoken.
you would never think bloodworms. They go crazy for it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I used to have bloodworms for my freshwater fish. Lynn Reef Nerd Awoken says she has the rainbow nanny. I don't know what that is.
Is it purple branching?
Is
Is it a purple branching acra?
I don't know. I don't know all these names. Somebody shows a picture of a green acro and it's called, Sherwood Forest at Dawn. I don't know. I don't know what the hell. Skookum Chuck, if you send me an email at reefgrrl@gmail.com, it's on the bottom of the screen, I can send you out the link. The link is different for every stream. And what I've been trying to do is everyone who joins, I've been trying to use my phone to send them out the link, because then I have them in my phone. And when I send out the weekly email invitation for the stream, I have like 23 people in the BCC. So I can add you on so that you know it's coming up. And if you have time and you feel like it, you can come in. So Moe's Nano Reef. Awesome. Okay. Then I will send you.
Awoken, they actually have a preference to red and not green. Nori?
I mean, they like the green, but mine always. I've actually tested it. I put both in. They always went for red first. I have a blonde in this tank.
Oh, where's he? Oh, I see. Is that him right there? Oh, I think he's gone now.
He's really little. Yeah, that was him.
When I first got them, I had live rock in there that had some algae, and he was picking away at the rocks. Like as soon as he went in, I had to do the copper because of the hippo. But he's pretty clean. But they're, he picks at the nori. I don't see him, but it's gone when I get back, and he's pretty plump.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you ever have trouble, try bloodworms.
Now the only thing is trying to find the bloodworms. I had my LFS he would get live ones, but I don't know.
So you could do frozen's fine.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to it, so I don't really do it that much. But yeah.
The hippo eats anything I put in there. Anything.
That's good.
Yeah, he doesn't care what it is. Pellets, he eats it. But he definitely looks a lot better today than he did yesterday. Excuse me.
Does he have ick, or does he just have like a bacterial thing going on?
No, he's got ick. Yeah.
Because my guy, I got rid of him because he was too aggressive, but I had him for like 4 or 5 years. Anytime he got stressed out, he would get white bumps, but it wasn't ick. It was like a bacterial thing that he just broke out in when he got stressed out.
He'll get out like hives.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They're so sensitive.
Yeah, Meldium's talking about using bloodworms and he ended up with a bacterial bloom.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I've read different things, and I think Awoken, you mentioned allergies. That was what I had thought, was that if you've got certain types of allergies, you can't touch them with your bare hands, or you can't get them in contact with your skin or something.
Yeah, it depends. Depends how severe it is. Some people, if they even breathe it in, will, have a problem. It's because
Wow.
it's mosquitoes. So if you're allergic to mosquito bites, then stay away from it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Meldium is asking you, Monica, where from PR are you from? Where in PR?
Arecibo.
Where? Arecibo?
Arecibo.
I know where that is. We were in Puerto Rico a few years ago, and we absolutely loved it. Yep, but it was before the hurricane. We were devastated to hear about it. I think the place we stayed doesn't exist anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, we've got...
my brother lives up there, so he goes through all of it.
Yep. Crazy.
I'm gone.
We were about 5 minutes from El Yunque.
Oh.
And when we heard about what was left of that, like it makes you cry. It's just unbelievable devastation.
Yeah, it was hit hard.
We have Mo. Mo can show us the feeders. There's Mo.
Hey, Reefgrrl.
How are you, Mo, in the lower left? Whoa.
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. Your tank's looking very nice.
Yeah, it's been doing really good past few days, or few weeks after I had hair algae and cyanobacteria, but that's annihilated pretty much.
Wow. Lynn Reef Nerd said, wait, she thought you were from Pennsylvania. Yes, Lynn, Monica is in Pennsylvania, but originally from Arecibo. So Mo, Mr. 3D printer guy,
Yeah.
you have a new type of feeder device that you can use. There it is.
Yep. And excuse the fish in the trap. I've been having issues with my fish lately. I just got rid of a hippo tang, was eating egg cans. And
Oh,
then this one was getting the new fish I got put in here. So I was working out a peaceful family. So some got to go, some are coming in. But here's the feeder. This one's been in here for a while. It's a little dirty. It's basically just a funnel, and it floats on the top and went through a few iterations until finally this one. Then there's a gate on the front that you can lift up and down.
So the gate kind of slides up and down. It's not on a hinge, it's on a slide.
Yeah, just like on a slide. Let me see.
Cool.
I'll kind of get it out here. So I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah. So that if you lift it up, it allows the food to get out more quickly?
Yeah, I guess if you decide if you feed something else besides mysis shrimp, but not sure what, like krill, I guess maybe.
Yeah, or well, I was kind of foolish. I bought some clams in the half shell. Don't ask me why. I don't even know what fish I have is going to eat it. I was thinking of putting one in there to see if the green wrasse, if it would keep that guy busy for a while, because I'm getting so sick of him covering my corals up by spitting sand all over them. So I might do that. Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to rant.
Oh, no, you're good. I started feeding some of this too, some roe.
Oh, yeah.
And that stuff, everything just goes in there, gets, a little bit better than those rings because it gets into the water.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's coming down now.
Yeah. Just, it's not really good for, like, if you have an auto feeder, because the opening on the top is not big like those magnetic rings you usually get.
Yeah.
But the cubes.
Works well with pellets?
What's that? Yeah, pellets. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that sinks. I made it because I was tired. I used to have that acrylic tank, and I used to have like that brace on the top, so I could put the cup up here, and I would take the mysis and mix it in with some tank water, let it dissolve. But on this tank, it was kind of sketchy to put a cup on the rim. So figured I'd make something new where I could just drop a cube in there and just let it go. And I don't even turn off the pumps or anything once the cube. I'll drop a cube in there.
Yeah, because that is the big problem. So much of it ends up just going over the overflow.
You know, I try to put mine on the opposite end with all the flow off, and it still ends up floating.
Yeah.
Towards the overflow eventually.
Well, when I'm away from home and my husband feeds, I don't make him turn the return pump off and everything because there's too many steps involved in that, and it's too easy to, make a mistake and have a problem.
Right.
And so what he does is just takes the baster and pushes the food down as far as he can down into the water. And the fish love it. They chase it around all over the place. And I think far less goes down the overflow when it's near the bottom.
Right.
But, still some does do that. Hey, Abe, where to get that yellow feeder? Mo's Nano Reefs. Mo, is it 3dprinting.com?
3dreefing.com.
3dreefing.com. Yep. Okay, I'm going to put up a little banner.
Yeah. Thank you. I have them in white and black. So if you're not into the super colorful atomic green, they are in black, and you can.
Oh, so this is your site. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. And I'm going to take a look at that, and I might just order one and have it shipped to my Niagara Falls address, because this is probably one of the most useful things I've ever seen. And I'm amazed that, the companies haven't come out with something better than that little ring that sits on top.
So, Mo, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Will this fit a rim tank?
Yeah, I made them for rim tanks,
okay.
And I have it on the website. I think it was about 3 centimeters clearance
3 centimeters,
on the rim. You have.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I took this piece that I made. They're a little bit better than this. This is one of the first ones, but I went to the LFS and made sure it would fit a rim tank, rimmed and rimless. Now, it probably won't fit like a 150-gallon rim tank, but most of the common ones it'll fit.
I got a 200.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how to adjust it. Measure it 3 centimeters. It has 3 centimeters of clearance. I know that. So see how thick that rim is.
Yeah, I gotta measure it.
I'm really enjoying watching your hawkfish try and get the food through the plastic. Like he knows it's coming.
Yeah, it takes a while. I noticed. I mean, I can speed it up, but usually about 10 to 20 minutes, and the food is all gone. I'm sure I don't want to sit here and watch it for 20 minutes, but
wow.
And then I noticed different brands might take longer. I've had some, like I think it was a San Francisco Bay frozen cubes. They would take like 40 minutes, up to 40 minutes, but they all do sink eventually. So I don't really worry about it anymore. I wake up and I put a cube in, and that's it.
And your fish all seem to be taking their turns too. I mean, I'm not seeing aggression where one fish is chasing everybody else away.
No, they usually don't. I had an aggressive hippo tang, but they kind of stay peaceful around it. I mean, they get a little frantic when they're hungry, but nobody really fights like badly.
Whenever I had that problem, I just add a second one on the other side. Then they don't know what to do.
Yeah, you can always get 2 feeders.
Yep. Hey, Carlos 23. Nice of you to drop by tonight.
Hi, Carlos. Hey, Dale, can you turn the light off to the quarantine tank?
Huh? Yeah, I just turned it off.
Thank you.
So everybody go and check out Mo's Nano Reefs and 3dreefing.com.
So,
yeah,
Mo,
that looks so
you do
cool.
diffusers on all lights or just the?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of lights. This is equivalent to like 5 Hydra 26s almost. But I wanted to light this tank up almost like it was full T5, which it's almost pretty much there. Not getting a spectrum of a T5, but close enough. Corals are happy enough.
Hey Mo, Marcus's Reef is saying he's got a 29 BioCube with the lid off and still has the big rim on the top, and the cube feeder that he got from you works on his tank. So
Yeah,
that's
Marcus,
awesome.
he lives in the same area. I gave him one of the first ones too. That's good to know.
So where are you located, Mel?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I have some lights that I'm going to be adding to my 200-gallon build, and I was interested if looking for a diffuser type, for that, but they don't really make them. So I was kind of curious if you do any light, or is it just the bigger names?
I only actually just for the aqua illumination lights.
Oh, okay.
Right now. Yeah. Since they didn't have it, the HDs needed it a bit more than their new models because the cluster was just so spread out, and it was mainly to cut off the disco effect. But then I just noticed there was just more benefits. It cuts off the light bleed a good bit. And then, I mean, the diffuser sheets, you can just take them out completely, and it's basically just it's almost like having a mini canopy. The angle of attack on those lights is just cut down a lot. So the tank is pretty much glowing, and the light bleed is pretty much killed all the way.
That's a really good solution.
Yeah. It's another option if you don't want to do a canopy.
Yeah. Oh, Tina's Reef is here. Hey, Tina. No problem. If you're out on a dinner date, I can totally relate. That'd be a better thing to do. Ari did that, wants to know, Mo, when you're going to have the 52 HD back in stock.
I am working on it. The big printer broke down, so I'm going to try to have that printer fixed this weekend, hopefully by this week. Those printers, they're a headache.
Huh.
The problem is consistency.
How many do you have now, Mo?
I have 4.
4. I remember you talking in the early days on Dave's streams about getting up in the middle of the night to do something. I forget what, maybe reinstall filament or check the nozzles, or I forget what it was, but wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably hit the start button again.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, it takes a couple of hours to make one 3D printing slow process.
Oh, Ari says Jake Adams. Okay, Benny. He's got to go put the baby to sleep now. Awesome. Go be a dad. Yeah, Ari is saying that Jake Adams mentioned your product recently.
Yeah, I think it was almost a year ago. I think. Yeah, he had them on his older 52s.
Right.
Then he changed to the 64s, I think, and he had one of the. He used it as a shroud too, the prime diffuser. So he took out the diffuser. She used the frame on the fuge light. He had a fuge light too.
Oh. So Mo, what is the fish? It's bright pink on the left. It's got kind of a high dorsal fin. I don't know if it's an anthias. There's a couple of them there. What type
is the
of
one in the
anthias
trap?
No, the two of them with a yellow stomach.
Oh, yeah, they look like anthias.
Yeah, they're anthias, like pink anthias.
They are really pretty.
I love anthias.
I have a good bit. They're all bunch of little fish in here. I have.
But so much life in there. Like really,
Yeah.
it just is such a nice balance.
I realize it takes a while to get a good happy family of fish. That's why some are coming in, some are going out right now. The hippo tank was okay. I just, zero tolerance on coral eating.
Yeah. Oh, you have a coral banded shrimp too. I see him at the bottom there. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, coral banded shrimp. I also have a cleaner shrimp. They're pretty good together. They don't mess with each other.
Nice.
No crabs, hermit crabs, but no crabs. I got a bubble algae issue lately. So I don't think it's actually, they were spreading out a little bit more. They seem to like slow down now, so I'm still waiting before I take any crazy action.
My fox face, Ziggy, has done an awesome job on the bubble algae. It's virtually gone in the big tank.
That's what I hear, but then I'm getting reports of them eating coral too, so I'm kind of hesitant against fox faces.
Yeah, I don't know. They are a rabbit fish, so who knows? I've never seen him go after anything except the rocks or the nori or the food that I feed.
What were they complaining? A soft coral that they munch on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably
They could-
acans
they
and
could-
zoas.
Yeah, they could take a bite of anything fleshy.
Yeah, I wonder if what happens is a flake of algae gets on there and they take a bite and they go, "Oh, yummy," and then it's game over. Marcus's Reef says he has 2 AI Prime HDs on his BioCube with 2 3D reefing diffusers and wouldn't run my lights without them. He made some himself, but the 3D reefing diffusers were so much nicer. There you go. Testimonial. That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
Will's
mostly getting
Aquarium.
positive reviews on them.
Yeah, that's good. Hi, Will's Aquarium. Nice to see you. Yeah, Marcus says it gives a much more natural shimmer and spectrum blend. Yeah, I could see that.
There goes, all the food's gone. Just about. They got it all. And there's usually like nothing left floating around in the tank. They get it all from the mouth of that feeder.
Yeah, you can see that. Like, and I'm supposing that if anything does get by the crowd, it gets
Yeah,
gobbled
they'll
up.
get it.
That's
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. It's made it a lot more convenient to me. So it's a pretty good one.
I'm just mesmerized.
Yeah, I love watching fish.
I have one of the little Clarky clowns. He's got something on his tail. I can't tell this one here. You see that white? I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, on the top edge of his
Yeah,
tail
he's
fin?
the only one. Yep. I don't know if he was bit and it's like a scar or it's something else, a parasite or.
Doesn't look like he stays still long enough for you to get a good look at it.
Nope. He's been okay. He's had that for probably a good month already. Yeah, but they're okay. It's good. Everything's going good. I'm probably gonna shop for a calcium reactor tonight.
Yeah, Cindy.
I
I heard you be.
I know. I scored Pat Murphy's calcium reactor. We made a deal, and it's waiting for me right now.
Yeah, I think it's time for this tank. I'm guzzling, and I got a good bit of new acro pieces in here.
Nice.
They're doing pretty good.
Yeah, WVU Reefer says lymphocystitis, and actually my mollies show some signs of something similar to that. And Fish of Hex suggested it was possibly lymphocystitis. And
How bad is it, doctor?
well, you know what? What happens
like
is
that cauliflower type of.
no, it's like cloudy spots. It's on the fins and tail. I've not ever seen it in the body. When my mollies get it, it's usually related to water quality or stress. Fish of Hex suggested stress brings it out. And in my case, I had bad water quality for quite a while before I got a handle on it, which I'm sure was stressing the fish out. Because my comment was that as soon as I dropped my nitrates and phosphates and got a handle on the problems in there, the fish started looking better. And his comment was, if it's lymphocystitis, they'll start looking better when their stress levels drop. So I don't think it actually kills anything.
I know the big Clarky kind of nips at him a good bit. The big Clarky was in here before. I didn't introduce him at the same time, so The little one's pretty new. It might be a little bit of aggression from the bigger one, stressing the little one out.
Clarkies are rough, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm double thinking how long I'm gonna keep them in here. Yeah, that's it. They ate it all.
Yeah, Ari's hoping, Mo, that your printer's fixed in 2 months when he switches his 52 HDs over to the Waterbox 130.
What, the printer's fixed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should. I gotta get to it. I got the parts. I think I got everything I need. I can pretty much. I just need to sit down, take the time on it. It'll take me like a couple hours, and it'll be fixed. And then
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be consistent. Even though you save the files to print these parts, a lot of times the consistency is not as good, and I'll have to sit down on the computer a couple more hours and trial and error until I get them perfect again. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the process.
Okay, Bob.
Anna Maria Dunn likes the cube feeder.
Yeah, check them out. I have like limited, I think 10 of the black ones, 10 of the green ones right now. Yeah, this is pretty much, I just put them on the site like a couple days ago.
Nice.
I've been talking about it for months, but they're ready now.
WVU Reefer says it goes away with good feeding. So maybe this is where you drop some Celcon into the food, because I swear by that stuff.
I have some of that, yeah.
I mix it with my frozen. I put like 4 or 5 drops in and some tank water, let it sit for 20 minutes or so, and then I feed.
See, now I'm gonna have to try and get this stuff.
Yeah, it lasts
Yeah,
a
I've
long
never tried
time.
it either.
It lasts a very long time. It's like $15, I think, or maybe it's less than that. That's probably in Canada, maybe $9-10 for a bottle.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like $10 on Amazon.
Yeah.
It makes your fish look like bodybuilders.
Maybe that's why my fish are so nice and round and fat.
We got
It
Celcon,
really does.
$14.99. That's not bad.
WVU said he had a Japanese swallowtail with lympho, and when he started feeding Celcon and spirulina, it went away really fast. I'm gonna have to remember that, because I don't put Celcon into Mollywood. Maybe I'm going to try that and see if it does make a difference, because I really would like to see them clear up. I mean, on some level, it's got to either irritate them or affect their overall health. I mean, if it is a virus or whatever, it can't be good for them.
I have some. I'm going to start
Reefgrrl,
putting
I
it
think
on
I'm
the
gonna-
cubes.
Sorry, Kim?
I'm gonna go ahead and leave the studio. My lights are off. My battery's draining.
Okay.
So, thank you so much for having me in, and I'll stick around and chat until the end of the stream.
Awesome. So I'm so glad you could come in tonight, Kim, and talk about the
Nice
moving.
Thank Kim.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tank's,
thank you.
Tank's looking good, and we will see you again in the chat.
Thanks.
Okay.
So because you beat me to that calcium reactor, and you had to go out and go get another one. So I ended up getting a Geo today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I bet you spent more than I did.
a smidge.
Well, you have to remember. You have to remember, though, I'm buying equipment for a tank I don't even have yet.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a smart move.
Yeah. Well, I know it's something I'm going to need, just based on the levels of what I'm dosing right now. It's getting a little ridiculous, and I have to balance really carefully between the balling stuff, because it contains trace elements.
Mm-hmm.
It's the stuff that you add. And calc, I can't put too much calc in. If my calcium is high, I have to really balance that out. So I end up using C-Chem Reef carbonate as a booster to get the alk to get where I need it without having any other impact on anything else. It's a constant back and forth to figure out what to do next.
Right.
What are the basic components? I know I need the calcium reactor, the CO2, and then like what else do you actually need? to get it to run.
You need your solenoid.
The solenoid.
Some people want to go with the carbon doser, but that's like $300 for that. I have a regular simple one that I bought from Aqua Cave. Actually, I bought the same one Pat has, and it works fine. You need a CO2 line that goes from the CO2 canister to your actual calcium reactor. You can't just use any one. It has to be rated for CO2.
Monica, is it under pressure when it travels from the canister into the reactor?
Is
that
much.
Why?
No, I think it's just the components of the CO2. It'll wear down a regular plastic faster than.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
There's not a lot of pressure in there. It's like maybe 5 pounds, not even that.
Right. Hey, Carrie Reefer 500 Carrie. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Mo, Carrie Reefer 500 Carrie loves your torches.
Thank you. Been collecting them for a while. They're good. Absolutely not fragging them. It's kind of rare to see like a nice colony.
Yeah, everybody cuts it up.
Yeah.
So Mo, what's the name of your feeder? What do you call it?
I call it a food portal.
A food portal.
On the website,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meldium's asking. Food portal. That makes sense.
I think someone's looking for a link to it in the chat.
Yeah, 3dreefing.com, and then it should be a picture. You scroll down, there's a picture of it with like the green one, I think. Click on that, it'll go straight to it.
Those fish are still hanging around.
So yeah, it's because I'm sitting right here next to the tank too. They think I'm gonna put more in there.
What kind of clam is that, Mo?
A Maxima clam. That's pretty new too. It's been doing pretty good. It was the cause of my my cyano and algae, because when I got it, I started feeding the tank like crazy, thinking I need to keep it healthy, but it's been doing okay without it. I slowed down.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a crocea that's gone from about 2.5 to almost 4 inches in about 18 months. And when the mantle is pulled, you can really see all the white, all the new stuff that's on it. Yeah, when it does that, there's like huge rows of white ridges. And
it's growing?
Yep. And I'm thinking that's also why my ALK and my calcium is really starting to get used a lot.
My calcium is low lately.
Yeah, that's probably if the clam is growing.
Suck it up.
So it's doing good. It's good news. Good problems, I guess.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. I know, and from the top, it's like a whole different color, and you can't see it too good. But they kind of reflect the light. I think Kessels show that the best on clams.
Right. That's nice.
But I'm gonna run too. I'm got some calcium reactor research to do.
Okay.
Yep. I appreciate you letting me stop by, show the feeder.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate taking the time to spend some time with us, because, this is how we find out about all of this stuff. I love it. I wish I had more time to watch YouTube videos, but it doesn't always happen. And in a couple hours on a Saturday night, it's amazing what we can learn from each other. It's great.
Yeah, keep the live stream going. It is good.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks, Mo.
All right. Good night.
Good night. So Kimber Reefs has a question about whether there's a certain type of clam that's better for beginners, a size that thrives better. I have a crocea, and when I did the research into it, I kind of felt like it was one of the easier ones to have. With clams, size matters in the sense that the smaller they are, the more careful. And you have to be careful about feeding them, because if they're small, they're not able to photosynthesize enough to sustain their growth. So you need to supplement with phytoplankton and make sure that they get enough. So what the general advice is to buy one that's bigger, like 3 inches minimum,
Right.
seems to be about the size, 2.5, 3 inches, where they can start to photosynthesize and get enough for their needs, but they will also benefit from phytoplankton feeding and things like that. However, they won't starve without it. So, you know,
I think you have just make sure that it's aquaculture, which I'm pretty sure most are these days.
yeah. Yeah, that's true too, because there are some weird pests that can come in on clams. Aside from the fact that they're, more sensitive. So Crocea, I don't know about Durasa clams. Maximas get big if you have them long enough. I can't remember what Mile High Reefers has, whether his is a Maxima, but the thing's got to be like
Huge.
10 or 12 inches across. It's huge. Oh, Anna Maria Dunn made her own bristleworm catcher and it worked amazingly. Oh, that's cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. I mean, bristleworms are good. Don't get me wrong. Let's not start that. But when they get huge to where they are irritating your corals, and I've had them like that, then you got to do something about it. Not in this tank. I don't see bristleworms in my current tanks. I know they have to be in there, and I suspect they're getting eaten.
Yeah, I was just having this conversation with Billy and Jose just yesterday. And I'm like, I know I have them. I just don't see them.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has them.
Yep.
And it's not like they come out, all over the place at nighttime. Because I work at night. So by the time I get home, it's about 2:00 in the morning. So I always peek in my tank.
Yeah.
And I don't even see them.
Yeah. I used to see them all the time in my 29-gallon cube, but I swear everything thrived in there because there was way too many nutrients. So everything from vermeted snails to bristleworms, the pods were like unreal in that tank. But I know that it was kind of balanced on a razor's edge of just any time having potential to tip over into disaster and crash, and just it was hard. So WV Reefer is saying Durasa, then I'm assuming Squamosa, then Maxi and Croceas. So Croceas being more difficult, because I had thought they were the easiest. Don't tell me they're hard, because then I'll probably make a mistake.
I don't know. I think if your tank is established and stable, I think you'll be fine with anything.
Yeah. And I think the thing about clams is if you can get a good spot for them where they're getting enough flow to move food across them without rippling their mantle too much, like it's okay for it to sort of flip a little bit, but if it's too beat up with flow, it'll just close up. And the light is they need light. I know that. They can't be under an overhang or whatever. They definitely need light. Mine is just, it surprised me how well it's doing, because I was always kind of scared of clams, thinking that if it died, it would nuke my tank.
No, they actually just become food for everybody else. I mean,
I think they die pretty slowly. Like you can tell it's coming because it won't. Usually it'll be like pieces will still be hanging around. You'll be like, I got to get this out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe like giant conch snails that don't move for days, and then you see little bits of squidgy stuff starting to come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough way to go.
Broke Reef Man says he had good luck with Squamosa.
That's what I have in my tank right now.
Blue squamosas are beautiful, but they're hard to find.
I kind of wanted to dabble, see how I do with a clam. And I ended up trading a couple frags for it. So I said, why not?
Yep. And so what kind did you get then?
The Squamosa.
Squamosa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder how many years it takes to get an aquaculture clam to a marketable size, where you could take it home and have it survive. Because when I think I've had mine for, well, actually, it's probably close to 2 years because I bought it for a birthday a couple of years ago. I had my tank
Yeah, I
for
would say
roughly a
that's good.
year. So yeah, it's probably grown 1.5 inches in about 2 years.
Nobody wants to see your little private parts. So,
Yep. Oh, hey, Billy Pipes is in the house. He says he's sorry he's so late. Oh, well, Billy, we just had to somehow get along.
doing dishes again, Billy?
Nice. Yeah, so Awoken, your tank is looking really nice at this size on my screen. I wonder if I make it big again. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it's looking good.
Love the
I
glow.
don't know.
Yeah,
I never know if my internet's gonna crap out.
somebody was commenting earlier. I think I mentioned it that they liked your aquascape.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I want to improve on it. I want to get rid of the arches and make some more smaller size pedestals to go in between.
And you've got a bare bottom there?
Yeah, I use starboard on the bottom, but there's no sand.
How do you like it? You like it better?
I love it. I've been doing it that way for like 20 years. The only way I would use sand is if I want to get something like like grasses or like jawfish, then I'll put sand in. But other than that, I would never put sand. I know it's going to trigger a lot of people in the chat, but I came to the thing is like,
hey, each their own.
My favorite tank that I ever had, I've been through every trend there is. So in like 2003-ish, I don't know, around there, the trend was deep sand beds. So I had like a 6-inch sand bed of all different grain sizes, blah, blah, blah. And I love that tank. That was one of my favorite tanks ever. But when it crashed, it was a disaster. So ever since then, I haven't used sand. So you're talking a long time ago. I came to that conclusion on my own, basically, because like BRS said it was the way to do it. I have a tiny little clam here, but the copper band is harassing it, so it doesn't open as much as it should.
Come on, bud.
So what do you do then if the fish bothers the clam? Is there some place you can move it that the fish has a hard time getting to, or?
Nah, just bang on the glass every time. Try to condition the fish, right?
Yeah.
Nah, there's nothing you can do. But the thing is about the copper band is it's curious by nature, so he has to taste everything. Like anything that was in the tank before he got there, he doesn't touch. But anything after, he has to taste it to see what it is. He harassed it for the first few days, but I haven't seen him really bothering it lately. But the clam, once it gets spooked, it doesn't like to open. That's a problem. Or anytime anything goes by it, it closes, which isn't like going to cause a decline.
Hey, Skookum Chuck, I'm just trying to send you the link. I got to figure out. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
I was just saying, do you have any purple branching acros that I could put on that you can recommend? I want to get this blue stag out of here.
Purple branching acros. Purple. Purple passions are nice. When they grow out, they kind of have like this gold polyp to it almost.
What that is?
I like the bonsai. It's classic. It's a like deep purple, yellow. I mean, I know it's nothing. A big acro. What was that?
Does it branch
What'd you
or is
say?
it more like a bushy ball thing?
No, it branches out. Yeah, it branches out. My goodness, there's like so many different. Oh goodness, what else? I actually, oh my God, what's the name? It's actually nice. I actually saw it for the first time. Actually, it was on BRS's the coral packs that they were doing with Top Shelf Aquatics. There was
Yeah.
a purple something, and it was such a nice deep purple, and with like yellow. It was really nice. Oh, I don't remember the name of it though. But that's that's Top Shelf. Each company calls it something different.
All right, I'll take a look. Did those packs sell out? It was like 15 each of them.
Yeah, there was 15 each of them. But you can just get the name and buy them single if you want somewhere else, or you know what I mean? Because I think it was like 4. Top Shelf have 4 in a pack for like 500.
Yeah, I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, it was Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, the Carolina Reaper, and I think it was called Purple Rain or something like that. But it was nice.
Hey, Awoken, I have a purple tort. I don't know if you have Instagram or not, but I did a posting that I called Acropora Parade. And one of the acros that I showed on there is something that the guy I bought it from at a frag swap, he just called it purple tort. But it has purple and green. The base is kind of green, but the branches are all bright purple. And the very, very tips of each branch now are starting to develop like a lime green color. And it's a really
cool.
it's a vibrant purple. So I don't know if you have Instagram or you wanted to check it out. Trying to think, it might have been maybe yesterday that I posted it.
All right, I'll check it
It's
out.
just
I'll
it's just
take a look.
Reefgrrl on Instagram.
But
Are
a
you on
tort, yeah.
Instagram under Awoken?
Awoken's Reef. I don't do like hashtags.
Okay.
I just post for like just to keep track of what I'm doing. But a tort would be perfect, yeah, because that's a big branching acro.
Yeah.
Did you get that sump going yet?
Not floor. I'm not in a
Broke Reef
rush.
Man wants to know. Awoken Broke Reef Man wants to know what lights you're using.
I'm using SB Reef lights, which are basically just modified black boxes, and Reef Bites, the XHOs.
So Billy Pipe says he's got his dosing all set up. And I seem to remember he said something about he likes technology the last time he was talking about it, because we all heard it.
Yeah.
Which dosing pump did you get?
The Komora X1, the small ones, the micro ones, I think they're called.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
What is the green coral? I don't know if you mean the big fluffy green or the flat green or the we got green here.
Lots of greens. It's so hard not to have too much green.
Yep.
My friend gave me this fungia, which is the cool thing about this is, you know how mushroom corals have little babies around them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this fungia does the same thing. They're just hard and they just break off. So he has like so many of them. It's really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I had a heliofungia, the long tentacle plate, and it had
Those are awesome.
at least 5 babies underneath it. And I firmly believe that when I treated the tank with fluconazole, I think it killed that coral.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know of any other thing that could have happened at that time that would have turned it to gray mush in about 3 days.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's extreme.
It's really too bad because that was a beautiful coral.
I love fungias. They're so underrated.
Yep. Awoken says
the one-
that this aquarium will be flawless when it grows out. Or I'm sorry, Carrie Reefgrrl 500 Carrie.
I hope so. Damn, thank you. I still got a lot of work to do. I want to put a bunch of encrusting Montes on this ledge. I got 2 here. And this entire thing is just, these are all the discarded corals that I don't know what to do with. That this isn't permanent at all. But I want to save this for like high-end stuff, high-end sticks.
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking.
Marcus's Reef says he likes the old school Garf bonsai with the purple with the lime green polyps.
Yeah, that's the first thing I always think of when I go purple. When I think purple. Oh, actually, the first thing I think of is a purple stylo. But that, if I put that over here, it'll just dominate everything. It won't. I don't think it'll be a good idea.
Yeah, I think you're right. The branching habit of a tort would probably work really well in that spot.
Yeah, I think I can't remember the Garf bonsai. I don't think it's like a huge branch, but I don't remember. I gotta look.
And Jay Angle is asking, what is the benefit of using starboard over going completely bare bottom?
Well, I think it looks better, but that's personal preference. It also provides a lot more surface area. It's not sand surface area, but it's way more than just glass. And also, it'll protect the glass if something falls, but that's kind of just like a secondary thing. I don't like black. As a thing is, I ride the subways in New York City, and everyone's always dressed in black. Looks like everyone's going to a funeral. So that's why I hate black backgrounds. I know it's going to trigger people also, but I prefer my backgrounds blue, so I can feel like I'm in a tropical oasis. And then I don't like black bottoms either. I just prefer it to be white.
Yeah, it's funny. I had my 20-gallon Nano had a blue background, and it was painted when I got it. I bought it as a partially completed project that someone had tried. And when I first got it, I really liked it. And then over time, I felt like it was competing with the colors of the corals.
That is true.
And I just found with the black that, well, actually, it doesn't matter if you're going to scrape the back glass, then yeah, it matters. But it ends up getting covered with coralline either way. So,
yeah,
it doesn't really make a difference.
I had this is a worldwide. Basically, it's a little green, but mostly blue. I planned on putting that in the back here, but you couldn't see it because of the blue background. But blue contrasts with red and orange better than black, in my opinion. So it really depends what colors you're talking about. But like green and purple, yeah, it's not going to look as good against the blue background. But in my opinion, orange and red does. But again, more, I guess, personal preference.
Well, I mean, orange and red are complementary colors to blue, so each makes the other look brighter, whereas black is just a neutral. So,
exactly. So yeah, that's why I put the red digi in the back, and I guess what I'm gonna do over here is put a big pink bird's nest, which is for beginners, but that shape and that color against the blue background, I think is gonna look sick.
Yep. I've never been able to maintain a pink color in pink bird's nests. Mine have always become sort of a brownish peach color.
Yeah, I think for me, it's 10K lighting does it.
Oh.
So if you're using blue LEDs, you're not going to keep it. That's just my 2 cents. I could be completely wrong. But if you hit it with like a nice white 10K for a few hours, I think it'll be more pink.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. So much of it is how the light makes it look versus what color it actually really is.
Yep, and that's the thing about the old school corals, like this guy, which refuses to grow, the Oregon blue tort. that under white light looks a million times better than under blues. But back in the day, there wasn't really blue LEDs, so you needed corals that look good under 10K, halides.
Yeah.
But this guy will not grow for me, no matter what I do. It may not be getting enough flow, but like it encrusted, but then it just stopped. I don't know why. Everything else is starting to take off at this point.
Yeah, it's strange. Maybe it's growing towards the back and you can't see it. Like maybe it's encrusted out towards the back and you can only see it from the top. That's what happened with me when I was starting to look top down. I could not believe the growth I was seeing that you can't see from the front.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Top down's always the better view.
Yep.
Yeah. Does anybody know what this green coral is called on the top?
No idea. What is that?
I'm curious if anyone in the chat knows what this is.
Is that like a palawanensis, a Montipora palawanensis?
Nah. Yeah. It's like
It's
a
not
really
Monty. Oh. Is it one of those double-sided turbinarias? Like, does it?
It is double-sided.
Okay, Cindy.
But is it a turbinaria? Because that. Go ahead.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
I was just wondering because there is a very rare form of turbinaria that has polyps and tissue on both sides of each blade.
Oh, really? No, that's cool. But this is called Merlina, it's pretty common. But if you ever look at it in the wilds, it's incredible. In a tank, it's not as nice, but it encrusts and then it does weird shapes like the way I have it now, like turned up like that, and it grows on both sides.
That's cool.
But it's a very old coral, but no one really knows what it is because it's it's green and it's not a rainbow stick, so no one cares about it anymore.
Yeah, and does it have polyps?
Yeah, it has very tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, so sort of like, well, all the beach bum and all that kind of stuff. Those are Montipora palawanensis. And the naughty spiral, I think, is one of that type as well. And mine is like a pale sort of peach color with purple polyps and a pink edge.
Look how little.
That's cool. I want to get something like that for down here.
Yeah,
so like the rainbow Monty. And then I want to put the beach bum.
Yep. Nice. Marcus's Reef says black really makes the colors pop, but I do appreciate the blue background as well. As a diver, I do see the view on seeing blue behind the coral. Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. I know everyone thinks you must have black, and I mean you do, but like I said, when I look at my tank, I want to feel like I'm not in New York City.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That and the other thing, and that's also why I don't do tangs anymore because they stress me out too much. If anything will make me bang on the glass, it's a bunch of tangs fighting with each other after I quarantined them and spent all the money, and the next thing you know, they're ripping each other apart.
Yeah.
The only tangs I'll do are naso tangs.
I would love to get a Flamingi tang when I get the next tank, but I know that within a few years I'll have to move it on to a bigger home because those things get to be 2 feet long.
They're so chill, though. Those are one of the best ones to get. They will never give you a problem.
Nope. And I love their facial structure and they're interactive. Really nice.
Yep.
But you think in the 300 will end up being small for him?
Well, it depends on what the footprint is, because if I have 84 by 36, I might be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to depend a lot on how the space works out. Because I think I was saying last week, this house we looked at, if it ends up being where we go, we're going to go next week and check, but there's a steel beam underneath. So if I could go 8 feet, I might feel a little more comfortable with 8 feet by 36.
Okay.
But the other problem is But the rocks, I want a series of long stretched out arches.
Mm.
So I have to leave enough clearance for big fish to swim. I want big fish. So I have to leave enough room for them to swim around and through and navigate. And when I did my current tank, I deliberately set it up so that there would be a ton of swimming room out front. And so everything, if you look at it from the side, it's all terraced backwards from the front. And it's working exactly the way I want it to. But my fish are getting big. And a lot of times now the angelfish have scuffs on their sides because I know that they're darting behind the rocks and they're scraping themselves on the corner of the overflow or maybe on a coral or who knows what. So although I left what I thought was enough space, I'm thinking now it's starting to get tight, and they're not even really big fish. So I'm going to have to think about it long and hard.
Yeah, that's a lot to consider.
I think that's where width really comes into play.
Yep.
You know, I know people always talk about the length, but
Yep.
sometimes if you have the width, you don't always need to go, 7 and 8 feet. If you make it nice and wide.
Yeah. And plus where you put the rock
Yeah.
and how you set that up so that not only do they have places they can feel safe,
Right.
but they also have lots of grazing. They have enough space to have their own territory or cave,
I hate scaping. It's probably it has to be the thing I hate the most.
I actually love it.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I love it.
Cannot stand it.
I think my best thing I've done so far is Mollywood. I absolutely love that scape. Oh, Marcus is saying he kind of regrets letting the back totally encrust with coralline. Yeah, I feel like it looks messy. And, a nice, pristine, clean background highlights the corals really well. And when you start getting the coralline growing all randomly, and mine is all different colors, it just kind of, I don't know, it looks like sloppy.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how big the tank is. Sometimes it's almost impossible to clean the back.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's going to happen to me because if I have a coast-to-coast overflow and the tank is 36 inches front to back, there's no way I'm going to be able to reach it. So I don't think I'll have an option.
Yeah, and just let it grow.
Very nice.
So, Cindy, when you decide to do the 300 build, are you going to keep the 700s?
Oh, you mean the 425, that one?
No. When you decide to go bigger, are you planning on keeping your Kessel lights?
Oh, the AP 700. No, I think I'm going to go all Orphec.
Oh, nice.
I love those lights. And I was talking to Pat in my comments the other day. We're just chatting about that. I feel like everything in the tank fluffs up when those lights are on. And they're only on for 5 hours a day right now. I'm really slowly increasing it. But they reach parts of the tank that the AP 700 cannot reach because it's 2 point sources in the middle of the tank. So the light goes out in a cone shape.
Yep.
And the Orphecs are bar lights that put light into places that the cones from the AP 700s can't reach.
Yeah.
So the two together, maybe that's the ideal combination. I don't know. But I think it's going to be all Orphecs. I don't know yet which of their available light fixtures I'm going to go with, but I just love the quality. and the spectrum. Oh, hey, Blue Carbon Reefing. Hey, John.
Hey,
I
John.
hope you're doing well. Chad says he's not a fan of aquascaping, especially when he knocks some of it over. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Chad.
it's definitely not easy, but it's not for everybody, I guess.
It surely isn't. You know what? I would pay somebody to come and do my aquascape.
I'm sure there are people out there that that you could find who would do that.
I do it for free. It's fun for me.
Now you tell me, right? Oh,
Blue Carbon, you have any purple branching acros that you can recommend? Because Blue Carbon's like a connoisseur collector.
Right there. He'll know. He will know. So I was thinking of I was debating on what I'm going to do for an auto top off reservoir for this tank, because I have a 10 gallon on the 75 and I don't think that will last very much at all.
10 gallons, yeah, it's a little low. You want it like 15, 20.
Yeah, it's on the 75 I fill it up once a week, so I can only imagine on this.
Yeah, on my Reefgrrl 425 XL, which is roughly 100 gallons, I top up my 7.5 gallon reservoir about every 2.5 days.
Yeah.
But I mean, all I have to do is
That's
turn on a
amazing.
pump, so it's fairly easy. But when I forget, I hear the noise in the middle of the night of the gurgling. Blue Carbon Reefing says, you just got home from a wedding. What did he miss? Well, Awoken is wondering if you have any recommendations for purple branching acropora. We were talking earlier about a purple tort of some type.
So I think what I'm going to end up doing is just getting a 20 gallon brute and put it in the garage where my RODI system is, and just fill that sucker up with RO water and put my Neptune pump in there.
Yeah, I think they make like a 33 or something like that. That's a good one. It's probably the best bet.
Yep.
Oh, Blue Carbon Reefing says he has a purple stag. Reef Raft Aussie Gold is a nice purple branching.
So the purple stag, is it like purple or is it like brown purple?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have a purple turbinaria scroll coral that has neon green polyps. And in most lights, it does look brown, but every once in a while, and especially on camera, it's like a brilliant purple color.
Oh, that's cool. What was the other one? Oh, Reef Raft.
Aussie Gold.
Sounds familiar. I'll take a look at it.
Mike wants to know, what is that yellow coral? Hi, Mike. There's two.
Which one?
There's two right up front, right? Oh, and one to the right.
Yeah.
And then one to the right.
Well, the one horizontally, that's a limeade shortcake. It's gonna hopefully table like crazy. The one above that is an orange dream millie, which is from a local high-end stick guy. It's turning real. When I got it, it wasn't looking that great because my lights aren't as good as his. He uses D5s, which are like the best, but it's starting to color up and base out really nice. And then over here, the top one's a rainbow Monty, just has a lot of yellow polyps. And then this one's a sunset Monty, which is orange with like green, limey polyps.
Yeah, I have one of those in Mollywood. Blue Carbon Reefing says he runs 100% blues and most purples don't look right without white light.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And Carlos 23 says Budman's granddaddy's very nice.
Ooh, I'll check that out. But man, I got to remember these.
You can check out the chat at 11:13, around 11 p.m. on the replay.
Okay.
Wow. 11:16. Oh, we're after 11. I guess I should really think about winding down. Got a big day tomorrow. Got to go to the fish store and get a filter. It's my daughter's birthday. We're going there. I'm staying overnight tomorrow night, Monday night, coming home Tuesday.
Very nice.
So are you changing diapers or what?
Oh yeah, doing everything.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been really nice, and we're in a routine now, which is great. He's a month old, I guess, and just got his most recent doctor's checkup. Everything is wonderful.
Wow, he's a month already?
Yep. He
Nice.
they were saying they think the hospital must have made a mistake measuring him because he's grown 4 inches.
Oh, that's good.
And the thing is, my son-in-law's family are all really tall, 6'4", 6'5". So,
No, you can have a hockey player.
yep, or basketball or something, volleyball. So yeah, he's great baby, very laid back, very easy to look after, and my daughter's recovering pretty well now. She's feeling a lot better. So yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. My husband's looking after the tanks, doing a good job. So it's all good. Oh, good night, Mel. Nice of you to stop by. Oh, and Carlos 23 is also saying good night. And Chad Kurtz. I guess it's that time. Cool. So, Monica, when do you think you might have stuff in your tank?
Well, now that I did a water change today, so I want to test and see where my nitrates are. I kind of want to bring them down a little bit before I kind of start bringing some fish over from upstairs. The guys over here in the quarantine tank, it's going to be a couple more weeks for them. So, but the guys upstairs, I can try and catch, which is going to be so fun. And, and bring them down here in the meantime. Get some action going on in this tank. So, which will save me some time, setting up a calcium reactor and hooking up a Versa pump for that. And I have to slowly start bringing all my Apex from upstairs, bring it downstairs.
Oh, by the way, just quick exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Ecotech is coming out with a controller.
Oh, is that the Mobius?
That's part of it. Yeah.
Hey, Tony, good night. Thanks for coming by. And Yavi Gwaltney, good night. Yeah, Saturday night, I guess, we're not party animals anymore, are we?
Those days are long gone.
Yep.
I am too old for that.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
No, I never really was. I was never a bar person. I never understood why people would pay so much to sit in somewhere in public to drink. Like, why wouldn't you just have your friends back home?
I did that all the time.
Yeah.
That's why I pooped out. I'd rather sit here and get my tank together.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Well, we usually walk the dog at around 10 p.m. So my husband waits for me to finish this, and then we walk her. And we have coyotes in our neighborhood now, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we back onto farmland, and we've been here for 17 years. We always hear them. But apparently people are saying now they're walking the streets.
Oh, man.
So, there's building north of us, huge subdivision just got built. One of the reasons we're moving, because it's not a small town anymore. And people are probably quite right in saying that the coyotes have been displaced from their habitat. So what do?
Yeah, they venture out into everywhere else. Oh, Cynthia, I wanted to ask you: are you heading to that Niagara Coral Show?
Yes, I am. I'm not going to stay over. I was going to, but I think I'll just drive down each day because I
Where was
really
that for you?
it's under 2 hours.
Wow, really? That's
So
nice.
yeah. So I mean it sounds like a long way, but it's like an hour and 50 minutes. And I mean, when I go pick up my stuff from the US, that's where I go is Niagara Falls. So we just cross the border there. So I do that regularly anyway. So it's not that much of a drive.
I was debating on heading. I've never been. I
Yep.
heard it's pretty fun.
Yep.
And I kind of wanted to check it out, but it's like a 6-hour drive for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's a long, and you'd have to stay over or you'd be a zombie by the time you got back.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering if I don't know, maybe they have a train or I don't know, a bus or something.
Well, I know that Amtrak, I'm just trying to think of where they cross the border though. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I know Amtrak goes from a station near where I live, and I think they do go through Niagara. But the problem with the train is the schedule sucks. So, I mean, you might get there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you won't be able to leave again until 4:30 the next day to go back, like that kind of stuff. So,
Is it a whole weekend or is it just one day?
it's 2 days.
Saturday, Sunday?
Yep. And on Sunday, I really want to go because they're having a YouTubers get together. So I thought that would be really fun to go to. I think Melev's Reef's going to be there and Reef Dude.
Yeah, he's going to be there. I think Reef
But
Dude.
get this, Sanjay Yoshi and Mike Paletta are speaking
they
there.
are? Nice.
Yeah, so that's why I want to go. It's the biggest reason. Plus, I have a little tiny Pectinia frag to give to a friend that I met at the first Niagara Coral Show. Her name's Kathy, and I have to email her and tell her I have one with her name on it. It's a gift. Because that's how long ago it's been since I've been talking about fragging this thing. I shit you not, 2 years. Jeepers. So how did the Frag Fest go, Cindy? John, do you mean the one in Niagara? And Mike is asking, what type of calcium reactor do you use? I don't know who that's directed at. Video coming soon. Yes, Mel. Ecotech's making a reef controller. Marcus is calling us party poopers.
If he's talking to me, I'm using a Corallian upstairs on the 75, which I can't stand. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. Normally Germans make pretty good stuff, but I don't know. So I ended up with, plus I needed something bigger for this tank. So I ended up, heading up to Jersey and Reefgrrl and picking up the Geo 618 along with a second chamber with that. So that's what I'm going to be running on this build. And I'll end up bringing the other one onto the frag tank.
My new tank will have all of that in the basement. So that's got its own challenges. So we'll see. We're trying to plan the plumbing.
So how long do you think, you'll decide on whether, you're moving or not within the next couple months or?
Probably in the next couple of days.
Oh.
We met with a lawyer today about a few things, and we're going on Tuesday to have another look at the house and talk to the agent about a couple more things that we're wondering about.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll decide what to do, because it's only 15 minutes from my daughter's place as opposed to 45 minutes where we are right now. So I mean, we're looking at a 90-minute round trip that we've been doing 3 and 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Compared to half an hour. So,
right.
But
so
I mean, we need a long
decision, like to say, okay, I'm buying it. We're doing it. Then next step, getting the tank built, because that's going to take a little while, right?
Well, I think if we make an offer and it's accepted, it's go time. We've already looked into a storage unit to declutter our house, and it's 3 minutes from where we live, so it's really easy access. We need a long closing because I need to be able to move all the stuff out of my tank safely into a cycled tank and hope I don't lose too much.
Right.
And then we have to turn that room back into a bedroom. There's holes drilled in the floor in the closet. There's a bulkhead built all along the wall that houses all the pipes. There's a hole drilled through the window frame for skimmer line. Like, we have some repairs to do.
You know what? Why don't you sell to a reefer?
I wish I could. My husband said, "Oh, we'll just put it on the market and tell people it'll be a bedroom by the time they move in." And I don't want to do that because I want to put. The thing is, the town we live in, the real estate here is crazy. Everybody wants to move here, and it's getting out of control. So that's one of the reasons we want out. And we have the perfect reason with our daughter, the new grandchild and all of that.
Right.
And I don't want to miss an opportunity to cash in. Let's just say, the more we do to our house to just make it perfect, the better we'll do out of it. So long closing. So it will probably be May before we'll actually move. So we'll see. But of course we have to get the people to agree to that, and we don't know what that situation is.
Right.
So,
you know who you want making your tank?
Probably I'm gonna get a quote from Miracles, because they're really well known for being able to handle big tanks. And part of what I need is advice on overflows and how to set things up. I also need a stand. So I don't know whether they can make me the right kind of stand to avoid point loads. So, we'll have to wait and see. Aluminum would be good if they can do it, but I don't know what they fabricate. I don't know if they can only do steel because they weld. I don't know if they have access to extrude. I have no idea until I look into it. And I can't even really get a quote because I don't have details yet.
Right.
I don't know what space I have to work with, what size it's going to be. So there's not a lot of point yet in starting to talk hard numbers. So we'll see. I don't even know if I want to go rimless. I probably, Euro brace for sure.
Euro brace probably being that big.
Yeah. So what do we got going on in the chat? Oh, blue carbon. I know what he's talking about. How did the frag fest go? Yes, video coming. I fragged the Pectinia and I did get video. I got about an hour's worth of video of me sitting there looking at it going, what the heck do I do now? So yes, I will be doing a video on that. And I today cleaned up my frag racks. I have a couple of innovative marine reef racks, and they're the blue ones with the pieces that slide in the side and the front. I had them in my tank, and as soon as I put them in there, Cher, the female clownfish, started ripping out the sliding racks, and they ended up landing on the corals below. So today I took some zip ties and I put them through some of the holes, so there's no way she can get those things out of there. And
that's smart.
Because I need the frag space. So I have space right now for approximately 70 frags. And what's going to go first is going to be my Starburst Monty, because it's really starting to shade some of the stuff below. It's getting so big. And then my Season's Greetings Monty for the same reason, because it's completely over top of a really beautiful marble Favia that was doing super, super well. And now, of course, has stopped growing because the only light it's getting is from the front Orifec, and that's not quite enough for it. So yeah, that's the fragging. And I prepared a whole bunch of frag discs and tiles for Xenia. I took some crazy glue and squirted it all over the top of the discs, and then I just put it upside down in some dry sand that I have, dry reef sand, so that I could make a rough surface. And I'm going to be fragging the zinnia. And in my experience from doing it before, it takes like a couple of hours for that stuff to attach itself.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So that's part of what I have to do too. So there's like a whole, you know how you get to where you have to do this and this and this and this and this, but you can't do the fifth this until you do the first, second, third. You know, you have to do it step by step. So yeah. And with being away from home several days a week, it's been it's weighing on my brain to get this done.
I know you've been talking about it for a few weeks now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, you figure, you think about it and then you go, yeah, I'm going to do that. But for one reason or another, you don't get around to it. And then you think, if I start talking about it, I will do it. Right. But that doesn't work either.
I know it's common when you have aquariums. Something always comes up and you don't have the time or the.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I mean, it's not like you can just take 15 minutes and grab something and do frag. Like you can't. It's one of those things where at least I feel like I need time in case something goes wrong. So
there's nothing in this hobby that you can do in 15 minutes. Nothing.
Except a water change. 15-gallon water change, managing switches. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm dealing with this tank and getting everything situated with this. I almost feel like I'm kind of neglecting upstairs. It's just, time, you only have so much.
Yep.
So it's like,
well, I look at Mollywood. Oh, Mollywood. That one. Oh, we lost Awoken. That's my stress-free tank because it just does what it does. I do the water changes. I put the stuff in, feed the fish, watch them. There's always something going on in there. I just got 6 more emerald crabs in there because there's a bunch of bubble algae growing in spots that I can't reach to get it off the rocks. And it's just fun. It's nice. I've got the giant toadstool, which, by the way, I'm going to get my sharp scissors. I'm going to cut all the way around it, and I'm going to make a whole bunch of frags of that as well.
Make a video of that. I would love. I've never really seen a leather getting fragged before.
Yep. So it'll either work really well or I'll destroy it. Either way,
it's getting done.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and I'm saving up the store credit because with a big build coming up, the more little gift cards I can put together, the better, because it's going to allow me to cover some of the expenses that are coming up, because this is the store that I'm going to be working with in all likelihood to get the tank. And I like the idea of going through a retailer because I don't mind if they make money. I mean, that's why they're there.
Right.
And I certainly don't begrudge it if they help me. Then that way I can go back to them and get advice and help instead of going around them and then having a problem and not feeling comfortable going to them for help because I sort of cut them out in the middle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's funny because you might be able to get things cheaper online, maybe sometimes even faster instead of waiting for your LFS to get it in or whatever it is. But it's still so important to have that relationship with your, whoever's your closest LFS, just for certain things that he could do for you that an online store can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little things.
Yep. Oh, I do my best to buy what I can from them. And it's true, you can't always get everything from them, but you got to give them a chance. Yeah. And shipping's getting to be a stupid price. So much so that people go to Amazon now for the Prime and sometimes you end up paying more. But
Mhm.
it's, I mean, so I pay $2 more on Amazon than I would at, ABC company who has to ship it to me. But Amazon ships for free, so I still save money. But then what happens when ABC company is gone and the LFS is gone and you have nothing but Amazon? That's when you really see what'll happen.
Yeah. Like right now there's this big epidemic with reborn for
Oh, is that right?
you can't get it anywhere hardly. Like, and
Huh.
whoever has it, it's like gold, because apparently they're having. I was talking to my LFS today, and I'm like, "What's the issue?" It's like everywhere is sold out. Every online store, everybody. And he was saying
Really?
apparently where they were sourcing it, they're having issues sourcing it now because I think they're trying to stop them from sourcing it.
Oh, so it's dead coral skeletons, right? Pretty
Reborn.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now there's no more dead coral skeletons? Like, I mean, I thought they were all the hell over the place because of all the bleaching.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what the West. It was a West Pacific. I forget exactly where, but they were sourcing it around there, and I don't know if they're just trying to kind of stop them from doing it, or I don't know the exact thing. But when it comes to reborn, you can't find it anywhere. Now you have
Really?
that arm, which is more like rocks on like aggregate or whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but I've the time I've had my calcium reactor, I've used reborn because it's dead.
So
Skeleton.
so the reborn is dead coral, but you can also use like calcareous rocks of certain types, right?
Yeah, that arm. I forget who makes it. They have like big rocks, and then they have like crushed
Mm-hmm.
sand like for your secondary chamber. So
Right.
mix it. But they've been using reborn forever.
Well, and the thing is that isn't it one of the good qualities of it that apparently trace elements are released back compared with some of the rock-based stuff where, I mean,
And you get higher alk out of it.
yeah,
Coming out of your effluent. So it's just better all around.
huh. Interesting. Well, it's good to know. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with that, if they're going to try and go to a different spot where they're allowed to source it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well, does it come from outside North America?
I think it does. Let me see.
That'd be interesting to try and find out.
It tells you exactly where they actually source it from. Let me see.
Maybe on a coral or who knows what. So there's me on YouTube like 40 minutes ago.
It's sourced in the Western Pacific Ocean.
Oh, Western Pacific. So that's going to be Indonesia, maybe? That's the South Pacific. Java?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Anybody know where the Western Pacific Ocean is?
Russia. Let's just see. What is the Western Pacific region? It stretches from China and Mongolia in the north to New Zealand in the south. Well, that narrows it down.
But there's no bands or anything around that area, right?
Awoken says probably Philippines.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, just when everybody's going to switch over to calcium reactors, then The media is going to become the new Triton
Can you
of reefing.
swear only in this hobby?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm thinking it can't be this many people buying Reborn, right? To the
Yeah,
point where
exactly.
every store is sold out.
Well, I mean, look at things like Pukani Rock or, Tonga Branch. You can't get Tonga Branch anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, pretty much live rock is done with because of the ban of, unless you get it from another reefer who's selling it from their tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking it up here. Well, Bulk BRS seems to have it, but
No, wait, when you click on there, they have the big Reborn. They're sold out too.
okay.
I checked. Trust me, I checked everywhere.
Oh, it's from Two Little Fishies.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, notify me when in stock. Interesting. Geez, maybe I'm going to have to make sure I hang on to my giant coral skeletons that I have.
Right?
But I
Everybody save your dead coral.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be throwing it away. Oh, it's out of stock at Big Al's too. Oh, interesting. Well, good thing I won't need it for another 6 months.
You know, the thing is, the other stuff that you can gift, you'll just burn through it faster.
Yeah. Oh, this is it. And so what happens to the media after it's exhausted? Do you have like sludge that you have to dispose of, or does it just totally dissolve?
It dissolves, but normally you never let it go empty. So, you refill it.
Right.
Maybe once a year you take it out and completely clean it, but you never, because once it goes past like halfway, your alk isn't as strong.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously there's not that much media left.
Yep.
To dissolve to get the alk from and all the other calcium and everything else.
Right.
So,
Oh,
you fill it back up.
Mo says he's literally shopping right now. He heard us talking about No More Reborn, and he says there's a little on Saltwater Aquarium.
Oh, what was that?
Saltwater Aquarium? That's what Mo is saying.
Oh, the smaller ones. Because I checked there too. Yeah, see, all the big ones are sold out. Now you have the little media, but the little media is kind of, you'll go through that so fast.
Yeah.
And it's more for like secondary chambers.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well, Melv's Reef has it.
yeah, I know.
Let me see what's
$20 for shipping.
large. He's got the large bag. It's not saying out of stock.
No.
39.
I got it. I think he's probably the only person who's got it.
Too bad you can't go pick it up.
Right? And gone, Texas.
Yeah, I don't know how his shipping works, whether if you buy a bunch of stuff, it's the same shipping cost or it's, it accumulates. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's $20 to ship it. So
It's pretty heavy stuff too, though, right? Like it has a weight to it.
It's 8 pounds. 8.8.
Yeah, 4 kilograms. Interesting. So it's out there, but you got to pay for it. Pay for the shipping.
I guess it all depends how desperate you get.
Yep.
Or
what your options are. Yeah, I kind of wonder maybe something else will come along.
If I would have known that, I would have bought a 44-pound box.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, I'm borderline. I'm a borderline hoarder when it comes to stuff like that. You know, if it's something that doesn't have an expiry date, I just figure I'm buying a lot. Like, you should see the amount of carbon I have sitting upstairs in my fish room, you know, and now this aquachar stuff, I'm thinking, you know, maybe this is what I use instead. If and I look tonight, my pH is still 8.2. So, you know, if it keeps working like that, I'm assuming as soon as it starts to drop off, then I'll replace some.
Right.
But man, if that's what it does, then it's worth it. And I had a comment saying, why, like, don't chase the numbers, because like tank looks good, don't chase the numbers. And I agree, but I think the tank looks good right now because I've had elevated pH for about a month. And I really believe that's contributed to how good things are looking and how well they're growing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to wonder, the Goniopora have never looked this good. I have two. One's the green daylily type, and the other one is kind of a pinky orange color. And the orange one is, the tentacles on it now are a good 3 inches long when it's fully out. So it's got to have something to do with the pH, because that's the only change I can think of.
Yeah. It's amazing when you go above 8, the out consumption that happens in your tank.
Yep.
It's instant.
Yep. Well, you know what? It's getting to midnight, so I think I'm going to have to say goodnight and go walk my poor dog. She's probably crossing her legs upstairs. Hopefully we won't run into any coyotes on the prowl.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're more scared of you.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks everybody in the chat for being here tonight, and everyone who's watching. We've still got 22 people staying with us right till the end. And thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
It's always great chatting with you because I always learn new stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with your 210 or is it 210 or 200?
200.
200. I keep saying 210. I don't know why. Anyway, when you start stocking it, it's going to be very awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty, guys. Cindy, have a good night. Enjoy the baby tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll do my best. He's like I said, he's a little sweetheart, so it's going to be good. All right. Bye, all.
All right. Good night, guys.
Okay. See you. Thanks, Monica. Well, now, thanks so much to everyone who came along tonight, in the studio, in the chat, and watching. And to those of you who are watching the replay, thank you too for sticking around to the end. I hope you'll join me for next week's live stream, Saturday, February 15th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Have a great week.